Hello guys, welcome back on my YouTube channel. I'm back again with another video. So I'm actually gonna talk about anything that people don't understand. They gonna label it. I know that obviously anything that is actually unknown, um anything with no name, eventually they will find a name. Anything that was fine, it was a name. Even simple things as anything like anything, it can be anything. So they anything, it can be labeled, but most of the time I've noticed that anything that people don't understand, they're gonna label it in a way that it doesn't sit right with your spirit. It can be you too. I don't know how many times I've been called crazy. How many times I've been told that I'm weird. How many times I've been told that shut up. It can be anything. Anytime people, when they don't understand something, eventually they're gonna label it. Because obviously the reason why people label things, even humans, it's because of the fact that it make them feel safe. It make them feel. I remember when I first started talking about spirituality when I was on my Facebook. I got a lot of hate. Like I got a lot of hate. I my even the likes and comment was no longer like engaging or anything like that. People were no longer engaging with my content, and I was like, initially I was like, okay, that can happen. Anything like that can happen. So eventually, obviously, these people that are most of them on my Facebook account is people that I met when I was actually not my authentic self, where I was like it was like a half authentic self of myself. So eventually, it was bound for them to finally not find me resonating with them. So yeah, that's happened. But what I realized, if people don't understand you, they will have a lot of level that is actually chain with you. That's why it's not supposed to always react with the fact that everybody just don't understand me, blah blah blah. You just have to understand where this statement come from. You can tell people is more you actually listen to your gut. You can tell this person is come from a place of hate. They're hating, or they come from a place of they hate you or whatever, because the tone can tell it. Or you can tell someone is actually trying to fight you, is trying to create a fight with you. So don't be bothered by the fact that people, whenever they don't understand you, they're always gonna have something to say that you don't like. They will give you a lot of labels. I don't know how many labels that I actually got. I got a lot of labels since growing up. So anything people that they don't understand, they're gonna label, because obviously it makes them feel safe. They don't want anything that will not make them feel safe. That's why a lot of people, whenever you are giving them new information, instead of like, okay, I hear you but I still don't agree with you, or I hear you but definitely I'm not gonna follow you in terms of whatever that you're saying, they'll be like, they will try to attack you. Like, you don't have to attack someone that you don't agree with. It's normal to find yourself in a position that you disagree with people. There's nothing wrong with disagreement, but you don't have to like be mean for by it. Like, you don't have to be mean when you don't understand whatever that someone is actually telling. It's okay to ask, or it's okay to be in a position where you're like, you know what, I don't know whatever, like, and definitely it's not my taste. It's definitely not my thing. That I just need to go. I just need to move, or maybe like you have to put it in your head. I realized, like, I don't always agree with Kanye West. I don't always agree with Kanye West, guys. Like, that guy, I don't agree with, especially how he always like since like 2009. But I was like, nah, I'm still gonna fuck with Kanye, like, because obviously, like, I think when I'm looking back, the reason I always like Kanye, it was the fact that, besides that, I always have a thing for rappers. It was more like, I'm just like in a place where I'm just love that he always like opinionate, like he's a very opinion, he's a speaker, like he is a speaker. He's very opinionated, like fuck, why can I speak? So he's a person that is actually vocal. He speak a lot, like he speak a lot. Sometimes I don't like his dusty way, because I like, dude, you're so fucking dusty. And I'm like, okay. But I YouTube kept on recommending videos about him, but obvious because the last time I was actually uh trying to be on his Instagram, it was when he was trying to win his ex-wife. So I was like, I don't like his tactic. I'm like, it's fucking manipulative, because it's actually using kids too in it. So I was like, but I got recommended that Kanye West is actually exposing in Kanye West is actually exposing American entertainment industry. And this is not, I know that I'm not the first one to actually talk about how fucked up entertainment industry is. So I feel like I misjudge Kanye, but at the same time I'm still like, I don't agree with everything that he said. But the fact that now is on something that I'm like, wow, Kanye. And I know that like he once posted Chris Jenner, Kim Kardashian's mom, ex, the black guy. And you know what? I did dream of that guy. He's definitely not like a good person. He is definitely not a good person. He was with P. Diddy in that dream. P. Diddy is dusty as fuck. That dude is dusty as fuck. But you know what? What I like about what exactly Kanye West is mission right now is exposing the entertainment industry. And I also like the first time that I actually like the keep on like recommending Kanye West, when he said it was anti, I don't know what it was, but it was I don't know, it was something like Kanye. Let me just go to it, because obviously I'm not always on celebrity news unless like they keep recommending me until I have to like do research on him. So they were talking about Kanye. Is it anti? Is it anti-black? I don't fucking know. Is anti-blackness, anti-blackness. And you know what? It was the first time that I was like, I don't like. I was not angry about what he said, because it's the truth. America don't give a fuck about black people. We know that. And Kanye West saying it, obviously a lot of people who are black will feel offended. And also notice the Black Lives Movement, it was dark as fuck. It was just a cover or anything like that. They were just doing for the sake of doing it. It was just shitty. Like there was nothing they are willing to do that is actually like really about it. They were just like trying to buy face, trying to make us to like, oh, at least they care. But no, they don't. Kanye West said something that is actually real. And the first time that I that got like Kanye West was actually recommended for me, it was true. It was fucking true. It's just that we tend to feel like, oh, maybe like they care about our race, or maybe like this and that. I'm not in America, obviously. Like I feel bad when I find like something that is actually happening, and like it involve people. I don't like it. I'm not gonna act like I just don't see that. I don't fucking like that shit. But when he said like was anti-blackness, there's nothing wrong with Kanye did with anti-blackness, because eventually the Black Lives Movement, it was dusty as fuck. It like it does not have truth in it. It's just us acting like they fucking care about it. They were just wanting us to like, how like it's just dusty. It's just dusty. It's just awful thing. Like they were just manipulating us into it. Um, what else that can you mention? Okay, I always like mention DMX, when DMX eventually started talking about the fact that he sold his soul, and when he wanted to get out, they tried to make him like he's crazy whatsoever, as well as Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson opening up about that, about they try to make him jail like he's crazy or anything like that. I also mentioned DMX. Like when DMX was talking about this selling his soul, not a lot of people were on her, on like on him. They didn't care about whatever that come out in his mouth. like they didn't even give a fuck about that dude, because obviously when he started opening up, he like his financial, when like financially he was struggling. Not only that, he didn't have the popularity that he had in the past. So eventually a lot of people didn't believe him. They look at him as crazy, as well as Michael Jackson. But now it's Kanye West, and I like the fact that Kanye West, he always catch attention. Is that kind of a guy that will like, you won't like him, but it will catch, like he will make you like go back and look what is exactly going on with Kanye West. And the funny part, every time when you start opening up about this selling soul shit, you go broke. You go broke. Look at how Kanye West went like billionaire out of the billionaire, and then now he lost like the billionaire status. Do you see how what is happening? And I like the how he responded, because it didn't show up as someone who actually like care about his money. Like they tried to, like obviously when he started, he used to care about money, because that's why he sold his soul. And now he's like, nah, I'm done with the shit. I just want something new for myself. I just want to move different, like whatsoever. So this celebrates when they start talking about the truth, they die. Hopefully not with Kanye, because Michael Jackson died mysteriously. DMX died. I don't know when DMX opened up, but I know he opened up probably in his late 40s or 50s or early 50s. I'm not sure, because the interview that pop up, it was interview that people quote, but I don't know exactly the time when did they put it. So obviously, Kanye West is crazy. We are all crazy. But this time around, I like his craziness. I fuck with how crazy it sound. So anything that is actually not understood, it will be considered as anything. They put label. Oh, she's doing this because she's what? She's doing this because of what? Oh, she's a man eater. She's this. Like they will never understand the fact that they will never like compliment you because you're doing something that they wish they can do, but they can't do. And it also like I told myself I don't want to talk about this thing, but I've realized it will keep happening. Like this Halloween event, every time there's actually Halloween, there's some people that are gonna die, or some huge number of people who won't make it. It's just like weird. And you know what, I just wish a lot of country who are not American, they will stop doing Halloween. You don't know what is Halloween. You don't fucking know. Like what happened to South Korea, it was devastating. Like it just make my heart heavy, because I knew that there's something gonna happen, but to see it in in South Korea, it was really awful. Because I also noticed that it also happened um in America, because America, it's like I don't understand why people don't see that this Halloween, every time this Halloween happening, there's something. It's like they don't see shit. Like it, like I get it, being in a dark place whereby you don't know the truth, you just don't see anything. Anyone who's trying to talk the truth, you be like, they're not like. It got to the point that people assume that people who don't follow whatever that is trending, they are not, they're not fashionable, they're not trending, they're not modern. You just have like all values. I'm traditional as fuck, but obvious I don't follow everything that is traditional as fuck. I'm like, this one it makes sense, this one it doesn't make sense. So I just question everything. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with this. Okay, this has been done, it makes sense. It makes sense why I have to follow it. It makes sense why I have to be this, I have to be that. So yeah. So anything that people don't agree with, they don't understand, it's gonna get a one of the nastiest labels. It can be any labels. Like I don't know, like with you, but I just noticed like I'm always like a person who always get misunderstood. People like recently, I'm a loner, right? I'm just a person who enjoy her company. As much as like sometimes I do socialize, but I'm like I just need to be alone and everything. So when like I'm alone, I like obvious I feel happy, I enjoy that shit. But someone just called me like I'm always alone in my bedroom. What kind of rituals I'm doing, I'm a witch, I'm killing people, blah 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 blah. Like it got me laughing, like like I fucking love, because I was like, just because you don't enjoy your company, it doesn't mean other people don't. Don't assume other people enjoy their company. They're doing what. Obviously, I do rituals, but definitely not killing people, not harming people. Like, it's a fucking ritual to just enjoy your company, to talk to yourself alone, to make jokes with yourself. It's so fucking ridiculous how people can just, like, whenever they're failing to do something, they're gonna label you. I remember I once, like, advise this girl, like, I enjoy going outside alone, I enjoy doing grocery or buying things alone, I enjoy eating on restaurant alone. She looked at me like I have to be the craziest person she ever met. And she's like, you really, like, go and read a book in a restaurant and eating and dining while other people have company? And I was like, yeah, I do. I do. Like, I don't feel like there's something's missing. Obviously, a lot of people stare me whenever I'm in a restaurant alone, because some of them, it's something that they will never do. So most of the time, I notice a lot of levels come from people who not yet know who they are, who don't know what is exactly, they're not on the tick. Probably they've been following this whatever that is been known to be follow, or whatever trend that is actually popular, whatever that is actually happening. It's like that's how they operate. Like, they don't want to question the status quo, they just want to go with it. They don't want to, like, be seen as too much, they don't want to be seen as too opinionated, they don't want to be seen as vocal. And you know what, there's nothing wrong with being loud. Like, I realized, like, in the past, the reason why I used to don't I still don't like people who are loud, because being loud is different. There's actually people who are loud with intention of being cloud chasing, or people who just seeking attention. Do you know those people who will be like, every time they're around, not because they're loud, it's just because they're fronting. Like, whenever they are, I experienced this a lot. I remember one of my primary best friend, it used to make me so uncomfortable. And I was like, she's loud. But when we're alone, but when boys are passing by, she'll be like, she's trying rolling her eyes, like seeking attention and stuff. And I was like, but when I'm alone with her, she doesn't do that. She doesn't raise voice. But when we're public, she has to do that. And obviously, it worked, because a lot of guys will hitting up on her whatsoever, and I'll be like, okay, it worked for her. But I just knew that she's attention seeking. So being loud, there's nothing wrong being loud. There's nothing wrong whatsoever. Because what I've realized about people, you are who you are when you're alone. When you enjoy playing music loud, and you enjoy dancing, whatever that you're doing when you're alone, when you enjoy doing things like laughing, and you remember about jokes that you actually probably didn't laugh at because it didn't make sense, now it makes sense, or anything, or maybe someone, you just watch something, now it probably, anyway, that's who you are. That's who you are when you enjoy reading books and be like, like, people never understand me, like, the way I, obviously not all books actually, sometimes I'll be like, fuck, this book is actually gonna ruin my actually my everyday routine. This is good as fuck. I think I'm gonna stay 4 hours in it, because I usually, like, when I'm reading a book, it's usually like 1 hour 30 minutes, or maybe like sometimes when the book is too good. Definitely, I would just make lunch early. I will make lunch or pee and go and pee and drink water, and then I'll still be in my bed, or maybe sometimes I will find position that may let make this book go well. So obviously, not everybody have that kind of, like, love for the books. Not everybody have that kind of love for finding new information whatsoever, because obviously, like, when you tell them conservation, a good conservation, turn me on, they'll be like, they'll give you labels, right? And they'll give you labels who enjoy books, like, they'll give you labels who enjoy this, who can just enjoy their own company like that for that too long. Like, you're gonna get labels, whatever they're gonna give you labels. It's the same thing when they don't understand that people can actually talk to dead people. People can actually get message from whatsoever. The thing is, I realize like people, don't get me wrong, there was a time that I was actually questioning whether God is actually. I know God exists, but I was questioning because a lot of people like, man, they're gonna always refer him to a man, 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 man. It didn't make sense. Like, inshallah, like if he was a man, but why do those men come from a vagina? You know, because the thing is, okay, they not sometimes not vagina, but it's just like it's usually a woman uterus, a woman's womb. So, and when I started hearing God, I was like, "Oh, it's actually a man." Like I like, cause obviously I didn't like disagree with it, but at the same time I was still like on the fence. I was like, I do see it because obviously I do believe God exists, but I was not even sure about the voice whatsoever. But the voice, it was definitely a man's voice. So when you tell people, like when you like, obviously when you talk about things that a lot of people actually act like it doesn't exist. We talk about ancestors, about the fact that ancestors can be in a room, you can feel them, they can touch you, they can make a room smell, they like can make the room have a certain scent. Like for example, my brother used to love this cheap perfume. When I was actually talking to him the other day, I was like, do you know, sometimes I just want confirmation. Do you, are you really there? Like, are you fucking really there? Am I talking to you? Like, are you fucking there? So like he ended up like using like the perfume that he usually. I was so fucking happy. Like it made me like I ended up crying whatsoever. So I went and shared it to someone who don't believe in that shit. And I was like, ish. What was I thinking anyway? Because obviously that person like me like this dead. I'm like, okay, like obvious now. I'm whenever I'm talking about these things that are actually spiritual, people are not that tuned in because they are refusing to be tuned in, so they make it your problem. It's okay not to understand something, it's not okay not to agree with something, but at least like do some fucking research. If you don't fucking just ask God, are you a man? Ask from your heart. You will like he will give you a message. I don't know whether he will give it to you, but for me he did. I don't know about you, but for me he fucking did. Not only that, like a blend of things that I do ask about, and I usually get answers from it. So you should normalize doing that, even if you don't understand, you don't agree. Just allow yourself, give yourself time to actually study something, research something, do something. Like you know, when like Kanye West was actually recommended, I'm grateful that they did because I feel like it's time. Like it's time for someone to actually do something that is actually that influential as Kanye West. Because a lot of people I knew him, they were like, ah, what else is gonna post? And was so surprised when he tried trying to expose the entertainment industry. As much as he did sell his soul in the past, I feel like he's done. Like he's done because I did have a dream about Kanye. Like I was trying not to talk about the dream that I actually had with Kanye. I had a dream with Kanye. I think it was September, early September, September, October, August. I think it's between August, September, and October. I'm not sure when it was. When I dreamed like I was in this Kanye's West's house, and I was like, you know what? Two things that stand out. One, he was dusty, like it was low vibrational. But secondly, why he was so respectful, like why he was respecting my boundaries, like the way he was respecting my boundaries, it got me like it moved something in me. Like I was like, Kanye can actually like I was like, why God is actually not like that in real life? Why it was not like that? Little did I know he ended up like explaining. Like I found out like this happened like probably now it's a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure. I was like, oh, like he wanted me to actually realize that as much as Kanye is have because we all have our toxic side, he does have a good side. There is actually a good side or in him, but obviously he usually the ugly side usually dominate him and whatsoever. So I was like, why when I was in Kanye West's house, obviously gave me like a fleeting energy that I was not into. I was not like entertaining it because I just knew like you wanna fuck and like whatsoever. So like I was like, but like when I said Kanye, no, like it fucking respect me. Like I was like, nobody in like in my fucking like existence ever like done that. Like why is like that? And I was like, that's when I started like, I mean, let me just go back. Yes, I judged him whatsoever, but let me just go back and do some research on him. And when I did, I was like, okay, because when I was in his house, it didn't show up as someone that is actually connected with himself. It didn't show up as someone that, because obviously when I saw him, he was in a store. He had a pizza, like a pizza that I've never seen, and that pizza, it was a pizza like it has spinach in it. It was one of the most delicious. I was like, can I have a slice? It like he had the whole fucking pie, or the whole pizza. He didn't eat it, and you know what? I don't like dreams when I actually eat something on a dream. But the fact that I asked Kanye, can I have a slice of that pizza? And he was like, okay, you can have it. And I was like, it gave me out. I was like, it was so fucking delicious. Like, it was so fucking delicious. I've never like tasted pizza like that before. Not only that, it was more like a vegetarian pizza. The way it was, it didn't have meat or anything like that, but it has like other things. But I just have that. It's just a vegetarian pizza, and it gave me like a vegetarian pizza. I don't know. It was a store. Obviously, I was went there to buy something, and then I was dreaming that we moved. Like I was in his house now, and there were actually a lot of people in it. But Kanye West was there, was not like engaging or anything like that. It was not engaging with anyone. Like it was like people that he knows, definitely not a celebrity. Like those people that he knows, probably like people that are there for him in the background or anything like that. Like it was like that, and they were playing pool and whatsoever. And when it happened, but Kanye was not engaging, he was not playing, he was not doing anything. It was like he was exhausted. It come across as someone who's exhausted, tired. His soul is tired. Like he come across as very tired in a dream. Not only that, he was disconnected. Like he was disconnected to his money. He was disconnected to his world. Judging by the pizza, I said that pizza, I've never tasted a delicious pizza like that. Probably it does exist in real life, because but me, I just buy pizza. I don't care like a lot of things about whether that pizza is what. So I've realized like it's true when they say when you have money, you will taste food that you never think it fucking exists. How delicious it is. The chef out there, so they always talk about that kind of stuff, and it's true. It's true because that pizza was delicious. And the reason why I happened to see to Kanye West in my dream, I was actually thinking about the fact that how life would be like when I'm actually a billionaire. Because I was actually thinking all day like about me being a billionaire. I was actually, it happened. I was not even thinking about Rihanna, or like Kanye West or anything like that. I was like, what is gonna happen when I'm actually like a billionaire? Like I think I will like I'll lose my money like this. I'll lose my money. Like I was talking like in jail. I was just having a conversation with myself, and then it happened that when I slept went to sleep, and then I happened to dream of Kanye, and I was like, why Kanye? And I like it showed me like Kanye is not even interested in his man as you all think. He's not interested to his man as you all think, which makes sense about how he actually reacted with losing a lot of business, like a lot of money, about his billionaire status. He didn't show up as someone who's like, I'm holding on. I'm just gonna reverse what I said. I'm just gonna reverse what I said so that I will have like go back and have the people that were sponsoring my company, or people that I work with, the company that pull up. No, it didn't. It just like, I guess he knew that it's gonna happen, because in the dream it didn't show up as someone who's actually connected. In the dream, I stole his money. Like I, I was like, what? Like I don't know how it happened, but it happened that his house is like a maze. We have to get off on that house, but I stole money. I don't know whether I stole 40,000 rand, which is a current South African currency, or $40,000, which is a American currency. So when I stole that money, and I was like, why did I steal this money? Obviously, okay, I'm looking at my situation in real life. Definitely, I need that money. But that's not how I actually roll. I don't roll with stealing. I don't roll with stealing and waste that kind of money. Like, that's huge. So I was like, okay. But I've realized that money, it help us in a dream whereby I'm actually able to leave his house because we're stuck. We were all stuck. The people that were in the house were stuck. We're trying to leave his home, but it was not possible. Kanye West was actually like, it was more like I was actually there, and I happened like to steal his money secretly, and I stole this money secretly, and then it was like you won't get out unless you paid for the same amount of money that I stole. And all along I was like, oh, maybe I needed that money. I didn't like, obvious, I didn't know what the change is gonna be. I didn't know that Kanye's West house was gonna be blocked, that we will be required to pay something. Obvious that it's a dream. Like, it was like a maze. You know, a maze when you're trying to get out in a maze, but eventually you don't know how to get out. It was something like that. Like, I couldn't get out in his house until like we have to pay that money in order for us to be get out. Because obvious, in a maze you're gonna die, you're gonna starve, you're gonna have a lot of things that are actually happening to you. I don't know why his house turned up to be a maze again. Like, why would his house turn up to be a maze? Like, why it has to have a lot of secret? Why it has to have uh we were not able to get out because it was like we were running in cycles. We were not able to get out. It was, we're not able to get out. It was like we were always returning the same position that we were in. So, like a maze like this. But it was definitely a house. Like, it was definitely his house because that how I knew it was his house. But obviously, probably not his real house in real life. But obvious things that are actually happening spiritual, they always have a meaning. So I stole that 40K and then ended up like in a position that is actually like this, but it was a house. And eventually, when I started paying that money, we eventually got out. But you know what? The only time I was actually able to engage with Kanye is when he was flirting with me in a store. That was it. We never engaged again. I was in his house and all that, but definitely Kanye West was disconnected. He was just sitting quiet. He was wearing black colors and he was just quiet. Even when I met him, he looked tired. Like, when I came like in a store, because he looked like someone who actually know the person who was actually in the store because he was inside. It was kind of like a tuck shop. I don't know what do have tuck shop in America, but tuck shop, in tuck shop they have like usually some of them they usually have a buckler whereby they separate someone who's actually selling and someone who's actually inside. So I was like, the only thing that stood up about that dream, why he one it was dusty, meaning like, yeah, like dusty, and I also don't like most of the time he's static to whatsoever. But I also agree with the fact that him exposing the entertainment industry, hopefully it will be safe, because every time in America when you start talking about shit, you disappear mysteriously. So a lot of people will label Kanye, and I also understand, even I did. But with this kind of like things, I fucking support what he's doing. I fucking do. Was it well, like I do like, so everything that people don't understand, they will fuck. Obviously, Kanye, like, he's always opinionated. If being opinionated, it doesn't mean you're always gonna be right. It doesn't mean that you're always gonna have something right to say. Um, you always have an opinion that is actually makes sense or anything like that. So yeah, so there's nothing wrong with him being right. Like, I like the fact that now we expect him to just troll other people that he fall or out with, because eventually there's nothing wrong with venting with people who've done you wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But I didn't like his tactic. Like, that was something that I don't agree with. But oh, I'm actually like googling America, like tuck shop, how they look like. Yeah, they don't look like ours. We do have like these ones, but we also have those one that usually have a buckle where you just have to put money in somewhere where we are available to you whatsoever. So I'm actually like looking how American tech shop look like. Some look fancy. oh, maybe like I should use this one. Like it's like a container, like, but it has like battle. So yeah. So anything people don't don't understand, they will always have something to say about it. You don't have to be mad about it. You just have to understand that people are just humans who don't know what the fuck they are doing. When they come across someone who's actually doing something that they are confident about it, they're gonna say something about it. Because I do know that yes, Kanye West, every woman they mentioned, Taylor Swift is and shit. When you mentioned Kim Kardashian, it was not something new. It was not new. So I was just like, we all know Kim is dusty as fuck. So it was not something new. What it Amber Rose? I know Amber Rose is not like a good person either, but she come across as like in that situation, Kanye was worse. So bye.